The day Caleb Hart was captured, the desert offered no mercy. He had been riding hard for 2 days, chasing a herd scattered by a sudden storm, when the land betrayed him. His horse went down in loose stone, and before Caleb could recover, shadows rose from the rocks like spirits made of dust and silence. He never saw the blow that dropped him. When he woke, his wrists were bound, not cruelly but firmly. The sun hovered low, painting the canyon walls in fire and blood. Apache warriors stood nearby, calm and watchful. Caleb didn't fight. A man learned early on the frontier when resistance was bravery, and when it was foolishness. He was taken to a camp hidden among cottonwoods and stone. No one struck him. No one taunted him. He was given water, then food. His wounds were cleaned. That unsettled him more than cruelty would have. At dusk, a woman entered the camp. She was not young, but not old. Her presence stilled the air. Her hair was braided with bone beads, her posture straight with authority earned, not claimed. Her eyes, dark, steady, measured everything. This was Ayanna, widow of a respected warrior, keeper of her clan's winter stores, a woman whose voice carried weight. Caleb felt it before he understood it. He had been brought not as a trophy, but as a question. That night, the elders gathered. Caleb understood little of their language, but he understood tone, debate, tradition, the careful turning of old rules in a new light. Ayanna spoke last. Her voice was calm, but final. The next morning, Caleb was brought before her lodge. His bindings were removed. An interpreter, an older man who had once lived among settlers, spoke quietly. "You were taken during a time of loss," the man said. "By custom, captives may be traded, released, or claimed." Caleb's jaw tightened. "Claimed how?" Ayanna stepped forward. "I paid for your freedom from those who would have sold you," she said in clear, careful English. "You owe me nothing." He looked at her, wary. "Then why am I still here?" She held his gaze. "Because I would ask you to stay." The interpreter hesitated, then continued. "She lost her husband last winter. The clan needs balance. By our law, she may choose a husband from those who enter her protection." Caleb let out a breath. "And if I refuse?" Ayanna answered herself. "You'll be given food, a horse, and safe passage." There was no threat in her voice, only certainty. That night, after the camp quieted, Ayanna invited Caleb to sit by her fire. No guards, no ropes. She poured tea and handed him a cup. "I will not force you," she said. "I will not shame you if you leave." Caleb studied the flames. "Then why choose me?" She considered. "Because you did not spit at my people. Because you did not beg. Because you watched the children first." Caleb said nothing. Ayanna continued, softer now. "And because I am tired of being alone." The words were not weakness. They were truth. She looked at him fully then. "If you stay, you will be my husband, not my prisoner, not my servant." Caleb felt the weight of the moment settle into his bones. On the frontier, marriage was often a bargain made in haste, or fear, or loneliness. This was different. "I don't belong here," he said finally. Ayanna nodded. "Neither did I once. Belonging is chosen." Silence stretched. Caleb thought of the life waiting for him. Endless rides, empty meals, a bunk that knew only one name. He thought of how easily men vanished out here, leaving nothing behind. "Would I be allowed to leave later?" he asked. "Yes," she said without pause. "Always." He looked at her again, really looked, and understood that this was not captivity. It was an invitation. "I will stay," he said quietly. "For now." Ayanna inclined her head. "Then welcome," she said. "Husband." The word landed strangely and not unkindly. Life among the Apache was not gentle, but it was honest. Caleb learned quickly. He worked. He listened. He earned trust through effort, not words. He was never mocked for his ignorance, only corrected. Ayanna treated him as an equal. She did not command him. She consulted him, argued with him, laughed, rarely but fully. At night, they spoke of their pasts. Caleb told her the ranch he'd lost, the family he never built, Ayana told him of children taken by sickness, of a husband buried beneath a lone juniper. Their marriage was not rushed. It grew. Months passed. One morning, Caleb realized something had changed. He no longer counted days. When a trader arrived with news from the outside, violence, land disputes, broken treaties, Caleb felt no pull to return. That night, Ayana asked him quietly, "If I release you now, would you go?" Caleb answered honestly, "No." She smiled, not with triumph, but with relief. "I chose well," she said. Years later, when settlers spoke of a white cowboy who vanished into Apache lands, they told the story wrong. They said he was bought. They said he was claimed. They said he was taken. But Caleb knew the truth. He had been offered something rare on the frontier, a choice, and he had chosen love.